Okay, welcome once again to the online tutorial for philosophy courses. Here we'll be taking a look at the introduction to ethics, and then we'll be giving a background look to the course, and then areas that will be highlighted include the background of what ethics is, philosophical study of morality. Also, we'll be looking at the branches of ethics, and then the two major approach of ethics. So now, ethics basically is the study of morality, and morality has to do with the standard of right and wrong, and then wise conduct. What are those things that we could say are right in terms of human action and wrong in terms of human action? And then the morality does not derive its authority from custom but from reason. We it is not, and also it is not something that you can just decide on your own that this is an action that is right or wrong. As humans, we live not individually. We mingle with people and go into relationship with people on a daily basis, and so we, or in course of that, we interact, and then through that, their actions we uh, exchange among each other. These actions are either considered to be right or wrong. Now, this question of which actions are right or wrong is what morality entails. So ethics is that branch of philosophy that looks into actions that looks into the questions of which actions are right or wrong. Philosophy looks into the general ideas that we live by. So when we say ethics, we are talking about the philosophical uh, outlook of what morality is. So that is just basically what ethics is. We can also call it ethical philosophy and moral philosophy. Okay, so now, having understood what ethics is and how philosophy comes into the picture, we can now know that ethics is more concerned about individual actions, not animal actions, because we are the one that do relate with each other, and is also concerned with our obligations towards one another. It is concerned with our values, what we perceive to be good. It is concerned with virtue too. So all these are what philosophy tends to look at. And philosophy has questions on so many areas of life. And in ethics, we ask questions like, what are those actions that can be judged to be good or bad, to be right or wrong, rather, and what is the basis of our claim that this action is right and this action is wrong. Questions like that are what philosophy aim to ask, and then also prescribe. Like, so there are some philosophers who have prescribed ways at which it is best for us to act, various theories and so on. So there is no way you we can discuss morality without asking these questions. And then this is how philosophy comes into the picture, right? Asking questions, because there are some actions that are relatively good, but in the general outlook they might be wrong, and vice versa. So now this is why we have to study ethics and the moral philosophy, right? Okay, so I think that is good for our background knowledge of what ethics is. Okay. Okay, so moving on to the branches of ethics, we have meta ethics, and meta ethics is uh, concerned about the question of if morality is objective. They tend to look at the various thoughts and various positions on the nature of morality, right? So they ask questions like, is morality a fact? If it is a fact, what is the origin? What are those things that are related to morality? So that is metaethics. It is a fusion of both epistemology, metaphysics, and various other concepts in relation to ethics. Metaphysics is concerned about what constitutes reality. So now when we are talking about morality, okay, how do we say morality is factual? What is the truth value of morality? Devoid of any sentiment or personal opinion, what can we say morality is? Is it actually an objective term, right? Is this something that really exists? Shey get. So that is one branch of ethics, which is what? Meta ethics. So that is briefly on meta ethics. The next one is normative ethics. So now normative ethics is concerned about the standard of right and wrong. It is concerned with setting rules to determine an action to be right and an action to be wrong. So there are more of regulative measures of human actions. Okay, so now this is where so many philosophers fall under, because they tend to prescribe what should be the norm, right? What should be the standard of our actions, the rules we ought to follow. She gets. So now this is a a very simple explanation of what normative ethics is, right? Yes, so it is an attempt to bring about rationally defensible view of what actions could be termed as right and wrong. You know, and this is why when the philosophers bring about view, they tend to defend that this is the reason why this action, this is the way we ought to live our life. This is what should be the norm. She gets. Now that is on normative ethics, right? So the third one is applied ethics. Now, applied ethics is simple. It is the practical aspect of morality. It is concerned about putting into action in the real world those our ideas of what is morality, right? In order to make claim that okay, this action that we say is the norm, that is the right one. Is it can it be practiced in the real world? So now that is applied ethics, the practical application of moral considerations. So that is applied ethics. Okay, so lastly, we should also note that ethics is concerned with two major points. That is deciding uh, which general principles in which ethical terms like good, bad, duty, obligation, freedom, and so on, where they are to be applied, right? Now, secondly, helping us to understand what each of those terms mean, the meaning of those terms. Okay, so we cannot say those two. The first one falls under normative because they're trying to to posit that the terms under ethics, that is like good, like bad, like freedom, and so on. Where can we apply them, right? So that is normative, right? And the second one is more of analytic, right? Explaining what those terms mean, right? Okay, so that is that on the background and the branches of ethics. So in the subsequent lecture, we'll be looking at the is-ought theory, and then we'll be looking basically on the is-ought theory, and then other additional areas that we need to touch on. Thank you.